Virgin Voyages in 2026, a lot is new and a lot is changing. So whether you've cruised Virgin before or you're a first timer, in this video, I'm breaking down for you what's new and what you can expect on your cruise vacation, starting, quite honestly, with something that's new that is upsetting and making a lot of sailors not too happy. So let's kick it straight off with that, which is the pricing tiers. In the past, Virgin Voyages used to have one single price. So everything for the cruise was just in this one price that you would pay upfront when you booked, and then you didn't really have to think about anything else. Now, Virgin Voyages gives everyone more choice. And there's 3 different pricing tiers that confuse a lot of sailors. At its essence, the way I think about it is it's very similar to airlines, and depending on how many premium benefits or how much flexibility you need at the time of your booking will really help to determine which pricing tier you should be in. But I will say one thing, if there's ever a time that you should book your cruise with a first mate, it's now. Which if you're new here, ahoy, I'm Christine Lozada. Book your sailing with us. We got you. We are top 10 Virgin Voyages first mates. There are a lot of first mates out there. We are experts on this cruise line, and we will help you not only to make it an epic cruise vacation for you, but we know pretty much every single answer to every single question out there. So we got you. More info in the description below. There's a little bit more about this pricing thing that's confusing a lot of sailors in 2026, and that's around gratuities. Gratuities have always been in the price of Virgin Voyages sailings. It's just that now it's broken out on a separate line item, and you are now given choice, right? You have more choices in 2026. You can either pay for them before your cruise on a slightly discounted amount, or you could pay for them during/after at a slightly higher amount. And so that's just one thing that's confusing sailors as they book their sailings in 2026. I'm just gonna keep it going with things that are making people unhappy on Virgin Voyages in 2026. And that's this change of the ships being busier than ever. You guys are all coming back, which I love seeing you guys again on the ship. And the other thing is that lots of new people are coming onto the ship. So if you sailed in the past, like a long time ago when they first started in 2021, 22, 23, you'll notice a change of how much busier it is on the ship now. A lot of the sailings are at capacity or right at capacity. If you've never sailed before and you're coming on the ship, I don't think you're gonna notice a difference, especially if you've ever cruised another cruise line. Just the way the Virgin Voyages lady ships, which they're all the same layout, the way they're laid out, it allows people to kind of move around the ship in a way that it doesn't feel so crazy packed like it does on some of the mega cruise ships that are out there. And so as the ship gets busier than ever, it leads to a couple things. A busier ship simply means you need to do a little bit more planning. If there's a show you really want to see, make sure you line up early, given the majority of shows are first come, first serve, or things like dining, especially if there's something new you want to try. The new Rojo at Valiant Lady, for example. Make sure you're booking that in the app in the dining window that you opted into. Or if you, like me, are coming on to the majority of your sailings with no dining reservations at all, go head over to Sailor Services. They're usually set up at Razzle Dazzle for reservations, and they will help you to book your dining once you get onto the ship. There's lots of options you have, but making sure you're being a little bit more planful for the things you really want to do is important. The other thing is Virgin Voyages got really popular with what they offered first, which is their 4-night and 5-night sailings. So a big change in 2026 is going to be the itineraries. Oh, I'm really excited to talk about this one. But the other thing, this is a place where a lot of people get it wrong about Virgin Voyages. So what's new in 2026? A lot of new ports, a lot of new itineraries, and a lot of new options around length of sailing. We're gonna start seeing a lot more longer sailings. Don't worry, the 4-night, 5-night Miami sailings, those are not going away. Those are still going to continue to sail, but there are some unique call outs, starting with Alaska. Brilliant Lady, right? She's the newest lady ship in the fleet, launching September 2025 in New York City, a really fun sailing to be a part of. But she's still in her mermaiden mode. And for those who aren't aware, a mermaiden is simply the first sailing out of that home port. And what's unique about Brilliant is she has 4 different home ports. So at the time in which I'm filming this video, she has completed her first 2 out of New York City and Miami. You can catch me on the LA Mermaiden as well as the Seattle Mermaiden. And she's going to more unique places. So let's talk about something that is very highly anticipated, which is Alaska. So I had a chance to chat with Nirmal on a recent sailing, and oh goodness, he and I did a series of challenges, and I know that a lot of you are asking for some fun behind the scenes content. So if you want to see me, I did not win very much, challenge Nirmal to a series of challenges. Stay tuned to the end of the video, but if you're getting some value out of this, cheers that like button, consider subscribing. There is something specific about Brilliant Lady that is slightly different that will help you to enjoy not only Alaska, but other beautiful ports that she's going to. And that's some of the upgrades that she's had around the ship. Again, all 4 lady ships have more or less the same exact layout, right? Each restaurant, each stateroom, each fill in the blank is in the same exact spot in every single ship. But Brilliant Lady has a little bit of a different kind of upgraded layout, both on deck 7 in the roundabout and at the athletic club. And with the way these 2 spaces are now laid out, they invite you to come hang out and enjoy the views of the places you are sailing through. And it's just a nice upgrade to the space, and is a place that I have seen sailor behavior almost change, because instead of people being normally at the social club or people being at the fill in the blank, they're now in these spaces more often and for longer periods of time. And it's been really delightful to watch. But I'm so excited because Brilliant Lady is not only going to Alaska, I'll see you there, but there are also some unique other itineraries that are coming up. Brilliant Lady has the Panama Canal sailings. Those will be really unique. And a few more to just put on your radar. One is the totality, right? Watch the solar eclipse from Virgin Voyages. That's really unique. Another one that's coming up is the Red Hot Celebration Voyage with Nile Rodgers. Like, how epic is that sailing going to be? There's also Eat and Drink Festival. This has happened every year on Virgin Voyages, and a lot of sailors get this wrong. They think that eat and drink only happens on one cruise. It's only happening on one itinerary. It's only happening on one ship, and that's not correct. Eat and Drink Festival is a series of different kinds of classes, workshops, events, eating new dishes around the ship. Usually there's some changes or unique things that are being offered. Lots of fun things like speakeasies and just, I don't know, I've done eat and drink every year and I'm not missing it this year. The biggest change in 2026 is that it's happening in September. It happens September across all the lady ships. So as long as you're on the ship in September in these dates, then you will experience the Eat and Drink Festival, and I definitely recommend you bring some loose pants for it. All right, let's talk about what's new on Virgin Voyages on the entertainment front, because there's a lot happening here, and more than you might expect that's happening not just on the ships, but on land as well. But if you're getting some value out of this video, cheers that like button, consider subscribing. And if you have a helpful tip, or tell me when you're sailing, add it in the comments below. I like to be a cruise crasher, and book your sailing with us. It's the best way to support this channel. We got you. Price compare it with us. Even if you've already booked, make sure you have Sailor Loot onboard credit on your sailing. Let's talk about the entertainment, because this is fun. Here's the top thing that people get wrong about entertainment on Virgin Voyages. They don't realize that the entire entertainment lineup is unique by ship. In other words, what Scarlet offers is more or less very different than what Resilient offers, for example. They are starting to offer more things on one ship to another. So for example, Persephone used to only be on Resilient. Now they've recently added it over to Scarlet, for example. But for the most part, each ship has its own unique entertainment and parties. On Brilliant Lady, we got to see an entirely new lineup of entertainment, both in the main shows as well as the Happenings cast events and the parties. It was so much fun. If you've been on Virgin Voyages and sailing for a while and you haven't tried Brilliant, you gotta try Brilliant. So much new entertainment and new things to try out. It was really fun. I would say a couple ones that I would love to call out. Red Hot is the new one that's out there. You see lots of singing and dancing across the board. Duets is a fantastic one, and in general, the parties are just really lively and really fun. What hasn't changed in 2026? Dressing up is optional. Too many people put pressure on themselves to get dressed up for the themed parties. Come as you are. Enjoy the party and watch the entertainment, dance the night away if that's something you love to do, but know that dressing up is optional. If you want to learn more about the Brilliant Lady entertainment, I recommend you watch the full video about that. And I also have a video about my latest review on Scarlet Lady. Things are different in 2026 on the original Lady ship, so that's all linked in the description below. But after I lost sorely on this challenge, you can see that at the end, I asked Nirmal what's new in entertainment, so screw it, let's do it. We are currently on Scarlet Lady with a new show that's here with Booked, and there's something that's happening that we've seen with dual reality already. Share more.
Yeah, so what's happening in 26, I think probably most excited about is Screw It, Let's Do It Productions 26. And what that is well, Screw It, Let's Do It, obviously Richard's famous phrase,
yes.
right? Like, let's just give it a go and see what happens. And that's kind of how entertainment was for us in some ways, right? We challenged our entertainment team to say, could you create entertainment so good that we can license it into land-based theaters? Because traditional cruise line entertainment typically is that cruise lines will license shows that have played in Broadway, and typically it's shows that have played for a long time.
Long time.
Right? And there was this sort of saying that, shows went to sea to kind of retire perhaps at sea, right? And so we said to ourselves, because of Virgin Voyages, we'd like to challenge ourselves to do things differently. And we said, screw it, let's do it. Could we not create shows that were good enough to be licensed the other way? So that we create them for our sailors, and they'd be good enough that someone would want to license them into a theater and land. And Dual Reality was the first to do that, actually. It was so proud. Dual Reality is an incredible show. And it was good enough to be licensed. It's now played in land-based theaters all through the US. It's played in Europe, and I believe it's actually about to go out to Asia and play, right? So it's a really fun fact that we've been able to transfer that to fun. And so as we continued to do entertainment, we kept saying, we've got to keep pushing, we've got to keep doing that. And so we launched Screw It, Let's Do Productions this year because we've had a lot of interest in licensing our shows. And so now we've set up a full-scale production company. We're going to be licensing our shows into lots of land-based theaters. The first one is likely going to be Las Vegas, Scarlet Night. We'll be playing in Las Vegas, but we're working through that still. We had a lot of interesting people say, can we throw a Scarlet Night at one of our properties?
I would actually love your opinion in the comments below. What do you think about a Scarlet Night happening on land? I think that'd be really unique. But I think one thing that's also important to call out that's changing in 2026 on Virgin Voyages is Valiant Lady. So in case you missed it, Scarlet Lady went into dry dock, in other words, where she had upgrades and changes made, some, fresh set of paint, etc. That happened in November 2024, and when she came out of dry dock, she had some elevated changes around the ship, more or less the same layout as before, just some nice cosmetic changes, as well as, big call out is the new Lucky Lotus by Razzle Dazzle. So that has already happened. Again, you can find that in the full Scarlet Lady review. But Valiant Lady is going into dry dock in 2026. And I'm anticipating her coming out with a new Restaurant by Razzle Dazzle, TBD on what that is. Very excited for that. I will be on that ship as soon as she's back. Another thing that's changed on Virgin Voyages in 2026 is the loyalty program. And there's two key changes that are happening here around status match. So the way in which you match your status to get a higher status on Virgin Voyages based off of your status at other, I'm just gonna say loosely, places. That's new and different. There's a full video that breaks that down for you. And the other thing that's new is Virgin is coming together with all of their points. In other words, the Virgin Red points can now be earned across land, right? The hotels, sea, the cruise, and air with the airline. And so, for example, this past summer, right, I sailed Valiant Lady, then after Miami, I took a flight on Virgin to get to London, stayed at Shoreditch Virgin Hotel, and then sailed again on Brilliant Lady, coming back to her launch in New York City. So these red points are now something that bring it all together, and that's new in 2026. What hasn't changed is the loyalty program, but what else hasn't changed is people being confused about it. So here's a very quick way to understand it. If you've sailed Virgin Voyages one time, you get a swift high five and a pat on the back. It's basically what you get. On sailings 2, 3, and 4, you're getting blue extras, which gives you a set of benefits for your sailing. Where it's really nice is when you're deep blue. And that's when you're getting in that kicker of things that really matter to most sailors. And that's really around the priority boarding, the free premium Wi-Fi for new in 2026, just one device, and also the $100 in bar tab. So that loyalty program hasn't changed, but as more sailors are coming back and earning their status, a lot of people tend to be confused about it. I definitely recommend watching that podcast episode in which I break it down with JC. We got you. Book your sailing with us. We have the best deal out there. We'll make sure you're taken care of. Let's talk about what else is new in 2026. Oh, the app. Everybody hates the app, but there's a new app now. It's not too bad. It doesn't do the spinning wheel of death like the old app used to do as much. But there's also just more around the ship these days where you don't have to rely on the app very much. There's screens all around the ship. There's printed itineraries, right? They've really brought that back. In the beginning, it was impossible to get a printed itinerary. Now, you can get them all around the ship, no problem. So that's something that's new in 2026, but do make sure you download the app. It's a new app versus the old one before, and that's new. One thing that has changed in 2026, and I've seen it change a million times, is the Wi-Fi offering. And to break this down for you, there's 3 tiers of Wi-Fi. And there's free classic, which is free, and it's classic Wi-Fi. It's fast enough. If you're actually taking a vacation, that Wi-Fi is just fine. Then there's premium Wi-Fi, which you either have to pay for, or if you have, right, status of some sort, then you get the premium Wi-Fi. The other one is work from sea, and that's really for the content creators that are out there that are busting their butt, press this button, making content for you, and they need a secure VPN connection, and they are on their laptops most of the day. Lots of people work remotely, for example, or need to do perfect, no interruption Zoom calls. That's a great option for you. But there are ways that you can either buy it for the whole voyage or for a single day only. So those are options available to you in 2026. I'm going to share one more thing that's new, and then I'm going to give my opinion about just the direction that Virgin Voyages is going in 2026, because I've really been listening to you guys a lot, mostly because you message the crap out of me. I mean, I love hearing from you guys. It helps me to understand how you are experiencing the ship. But one other thing that a lot of sailors are asking for that Virgin has been listening to you on is sports at sea. So you're going to see some sailings that are specific to Super Bowl, World Cup, etc. But they're also making it easier for sailors to view the games that they want to see more easily, whether at the social club or at the athletic club. And they're making sure those TVs are watching the key things most people want to be watching. And sometimes they're even posting that schedule out there. So if you are into sports and you want to be able to experience these things, know that Virgin Voyages is listening and offering that to you. All right, as I share my opinion in this last piece before I show you getting my butt kicked by Normal in these challenges, you might see me somewhere else other than Virgin Voyages in 2026. So there's kind of 2 things that are happening here. One, Virgin Voyages is getting more popular than ever, and it's inviting in a lot of people who didn't really consider Virgin Voyages before. So it's great. We have a lot of longtime cruisers, people who love other cruise lines who are coming on to try Virgin. And they are very loud in the sailor feedback. I talk about this in the Brilliant Lady video because Brilliant Lady was built on sailor feedback. So everyone that's coming, as they fill out the surveys, Virgin's listening. And I can see real time those changes being made around the ship. I sailed almost 20 times in 2025. That's a lot. I've been listening to you guys. On the first 40 days and 40 nights, I was on Brilliant Lady when she launched. And I am seeing these things coming to life. And so yes, Virgin more than ever is becoming like other cruise lines. And you're seeing more changes to help longtime cruisers adjust to Virgin because they really are different. Yet at the same time, what other cruise line has a tattoo parlor at sea? What other cruise line can you shake your phone and then have a bottle of Moet delivered to you right there on the spot? By the way, I'm getting my tattoo in 2026. Paul Todd Tattoos coming at you in Alaska. Super excited for that. I digress. Where was I? So we're seeing a lot of changes on Virgin Voyages, and to be honest, they are exactly the changes that I would expect as the cruise line grows. Don't forget, Virgin has only been around since the pandemic. I think about how other cruise lines, like one I'm about to try, has been around for 30 years, right? Been around for a really long time. And so as Virgin really disrupts the cruising industry, you're also starting to see other cruise lines taking a cue from Virgin and trying to do what Virgin does. So I'm gonna go check that out. You're gonna find me on this channel, headed out to a few other cruise lines just to see what's up. But you're going to see me on Virgin Voyages a lot this year. A lot of the key sailings I'll be on, the Mermaidens I will be there for, Alaska. I am so excited for Nile Rodgers on the Celebration voyage. And it's a great sailing to not only experience Brilliant, but a lot of the Virgin team will be there with programming that helps you to celebrate the Virgin brand. It's a really fun sailing to be on. I'm also keeping my eye on Eat and Drink. I will likely be there for Halloween and maybe a Christmas, New Year's sailing as well. But there are just so many options. And if you're not sure which one's right for you, we got you. We'll help you find the right sailing for you. Book your sailing with us. If this was helpful, cheers that like button. I'm Christine Lozada. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.
Not just any kind of morning today. Where are we at, JC?
We are on Scarlet Lady at the pickleball court.
And there's something that's going down this morning, and that's called normal because Christine versus CEO. Are you putting your bets on me?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You gotta win one.
Woo! John, where are you putting your bets?
I've got to go with you.
Unless normal gets in my head.
Don't talk to them all.
I know.
Try to get in your head. So my advice, don't talk to him.
All right, Christine's getting her ass whipped right now, so we're sitting here watching. That's it. Oh, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Christine. But she is up. She is up. Not in this game, though.
Strategy session.
So basically Normal's found a little edge where he's coming in, he's tall, and he's coming in and volleying off the first hit, which by the way, in the real rules you can't do that, but on the small court it's fine. So what he's figured out is he can do that. So I'm teaching Christine here in the strategy session to either make the first ball bounce in the kitchen so he can't volley, or lob up and over.
He's tall. He's tall.
Now I'm gonna. Come on, go get him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a final verdict for the Bimini Open. Here in the beautiful Bahamas, we have the champion, Nirmal.
I thought I was bringing home the W today. It did not happen. Nirmal put in a really good strategy that made it nearly impossible to win. I have to hand it to you. I did not expect you to catch me with my back against the wall, but it worked really well in your favor.
She went up 2-0 out of a best of 5, strategized with your team. You came back after game 2. You changed things up. Tell everybody what you did to end up getting this victory.
Yeah, look, first of all, thanks, Christine. Christine's a great champion. I love the way she brings her heart, the fire, the passion to the game. It's great for the game, and it's good to have competitors like Christine around. To her box, thank you to everyone's support for Christine. I know you support her all the time. My team, what can I say? You guys are the best. You've supported me through thick or thin. I know you believed in me when I was down 0-2. Thank you, Christine.
3-2 to the champion, Nirmal, and CEO of Virgin Voyages. Who knew he could play right and left-handed as well?
Those were real pickleball rules. No serve and volley. I would have been smoked. Thank you, by the way.
He worked the rules well. You did it
The
well.
rules were in my favor.
As the referee, I did allow for a little bit of modification in favor of Jamal, but it worked out great.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
I
it.
gotta say to
I'm
Christine,
okay with it.
real pickleball rules and no shots. He's really good.
But both of them were excellent competitors. I will say they gave their all. He's got probably skinned up knees right now,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Very fun to watch, very fun to referee. Good stuff.
I definitely recommend my pickleball shoes. They are also good for Scarlet Night.